Hello, thank you for tuning in. My name is Owen. This is, of course, Gaming with the Cooler, and I'm here to bring you a short overview of a battle taking place between Haqqislam and the Pan-Oceania in the Tianzian Astroport. Of course, it was 300 points. We played quadrant control. I do apologize about the quality of the pictures. They were just taken with my camera or my phone camera rather, as opposed to my video camera, because my video camera was dead at the time, so I couldn't record this like the future battle reports will be, of course. So in front of you right now is the Haqqislam army that I brought to this match. So in the front we have Saladin. To your left we've got a sniper with the viral sniper. Just behind them we've got an Azrael with an AP HMG. We've got an Al-Hawa to the right there with the sniper as well, and of course anti-personnel mines. The two little Azraels that you can see there, that they were the old sculpts, I'm using a Ziaden intervention troops with breaker rifles. So you can see they've got kind of sawed-off rifles, and you'll see how they do. Then we've got a Nigerian engineer. We have Yazbir, the infiltrating hollow projector level 2 version. We have a Toreg doctor with a rifle and anti-personnel mines, TO camo, and infiltrate as well, of course. My Maghariba Guard pilot is my HVT, and then in the back we have a Rajik, who's actually standing in for my Miyub, because I forgot my Miyub, so I kind of suck about that. So, you see Rajik, he's actually a Miyub with a light grenade launcher with smoke, and here we go. So, going from there, you can take a look now at the Pano troops. Now, he had he had a bulleteer, and he had the other bot that has a Ox bot attached to it with a heavy shotgun. The other one was the one with TO camo and Spitfire. He has a machinist with two bots. He had a 4-man team of Akali Sikhs with the named character attached to them, as well as the other character that can, of course, airdrop in. He had a Acon hacker, and then another Acon, just a dude, and of course his Sikhs, or his Akali Sikhs were the ones that were going to be the muscle in his team, with HMG, paramedic. I think he had a sniper rifle as well in that team, and a boarding shotgun. And then he has an Akali Sikh commando, which we shouldn't have seen these things, but that's how he did it. And in the back corner there, the Greyhound Grey sniper is his HVT. So moving on, this is how the board looked. Now we were playing on a very indoor kind of board, and this is how it ended up looking after Haqqislam turn 1. I did win the roll-off, I won for deployment, and here we are. So we're playing with the doors all being assumed closed, and that you can open a door by just going next to it. It doesn't cost anything to do so, and you get cover while you're in the doorway. So currently you can see down to the bottom left side of the board there, you can see Saladin standing in the doorway with my Miyub. Just a little bit further up, looking into the door on suppression fire. Inside the doorway, on the left and right sides of the door, we have both of my Ziaden with suppression fire up, facing inwards, looking at the doorway. And unfortunately, you can't really see him, but you can see his head there. Yazbir, along with two copies of himself, are standing in that room facing the doorway as well. Off to the right side of the board, you can see that there's an Azrael up on the side with suppression fire already on, and he's facing down that hallway. And then on the left side, at the very corner, or just on the other side of the doorway, you can see my Al-Hawa. There's actually a collection of landmines around her, as that's what she was doing, is dropping mines. In his side, you can see he deployed a little bit on the outside. There's one guy on the outside, but the rest of his troops were deployed inside. He actually won being able to choose who deployed and what side, and he took that side. So that's how that went. And I got to choose turn, so that's why I chose to go first. You can see most of his Akali are in the one hallway, most prone and such, so he's facing down, because he didn't want me to open that door. He didn't want me to be able to push him right into the hallway. So if I'd opened that door, a whole bunch of Mimetism MSV1 guys would have shot me up. His bots are each in the rooms further back, along with his support staff in there as well. So here we go, you can get a different view now. This is after his turn 1. Now you can see, you'll notice that my Azrael is now gone from that corner. He was killed by a double crit, along with an extra shot from one of his Sikhs, I believe. Then my Al-Hawa is now unconscious as well, along with his Palbot, which is unconscious. His Ox bot is down to 2nd level unconscious, and his heavy shotgun bot is now gone. He's also brought in his drop troop from the side. He walked in from the side of the board there. And that's basically what happened on his turn. So he was able to kind of get himself out of the hallway, but he wasn't able to go far enough to actually clear the room that I've taken over. One thing you might notice is in the bottom right, that little room there's a brown head. That is where my HVT is, and the room right next to it is where his HVT is, and that will become relevant later on. So with that, actually at the end of both of our turns, we've tied the game up now with 1 point each. It is currently, because it's quadrant control, so we're each controlling 2 quadrants. He has his 2 on his half, and I have my 2 on my half. The next picture here is just a slight different shift of point of view, showing you that everybody's still in basically the same spots. This is another clearer point of view now after my following turn. You'll notice that just below those 2 wound tokens on the right side of the doorway is Yazbir. He actually smoked in the door, walked up, and then intuitive attack smoked out of his smoke to drop one in the a few inches further up. So he smoked out the whole corridor there, and then walked around the corner and engaged one of his Akali Sikh in close combat, and of course killed him with Martial Arts 3 and a viral close combat weapon. I then, using that smoke, moved my Zayaden up, and both of them went onto suppression fire facing down the hallway, with the Miyub still down further back on suppression mode as well. Off to the left, which you unfortunately can't see, there is a landmine. You might be able to see it in the next picture, because my Toreg did appear, and she walked up and put a landmine down behind that Sikh. So if he were to move, he's going to take a landmine to the back, and the rest of his unit is going to take marksmanship level 2 breaker rifles to the front, as well as another rifle from the Miyub as well. So moving along here. Yeah, here we are. So this is the Toreg, and you can see the camo marker. That could be anything, but it is probably a landmine, is facing just behind that Akali Sikh, and she's watching the doorway, which she then closed behind her. So this is the other end of the board right now. Nothing is really happening. You can see that my Lasik sniper is just sitting in the hallway watching, as is my Nigerian engineer, because I want to run up and grab his HVT, either because my secret or my hidden objective was to do a engineer check on his HVT, or to get secure HVT, whichever I could do. And of course, this is the layout of most of the board at this point. Once again, I do apologize about the poor quality of these pictures. The next battle report will certainly be better, but this is what I had for this one. So moving on, we have the following turn. This actually, it looks like we missed a turn here. We skipped his turn and went directly to my following next turn. So on his turn, he was actually to knock out a few of the Zayaden, and he was able to kill my Toreg, but that was about it. Then Yazbir went on a bit of a rampage, so killing the one Sikh as well as the other one. He smoke grenaded up the hallway and walked up with his viral close combat weapon. But you can see he's currently engaged with a Kali Sikh. He's like the last one in that unit, or that link team, and he actually crit me, needing a 14 to hit. He did, and I failed to get that 15 plus to crit. So Yazbir did go down and failed to rampage all the way through. So in the back, he's got his Bulletier with its Spitfire ODD looking out down the hallway, which he was able to repair after one of my Zayaden had actually gotten a crit and knocked it unconscious. But then he was able to repair it, and using it, he was able to take out my breakers pretty well. So, of course, I did actually forget that my Zayaden have marksmanship level 2 to ignore the cover modifier, so it should have been only -6 instead of -9, which is a pretty big deal when you're shooting 12s, but that was my mistake. You can see here, though, this is the end of the game, or as we near the end of the game, I am actually within 8 inches of his HVT, the way it worked out, and so I was able to secure the HVT. This is the hallway at the end, of course. Sorry about the white side, it was different points of view, and not a lot of change other than his Bulletier had rushed up trying to kill Saladin, and Saladin got super lucky and actually knocked it unconscious, shooting back with all kinds of penalties. Moving on from there, everyone over on here is knocked unconscious. My Toreg is out, as you can see to the left. His Akali Sikh is walked in from the side. Still my Al-Hawa and the Palbot are both out, and that is it. We come back to the beginning. So the end score was a draw. Both forces were able to hold their halves of the board the entire game. Thankfully, he had the second turn, so he was able, every time I was able to push forward to actually take one of his zones, his turn, he was able to repulse me back out again, or at least move enough points into a section in order to tie it back up once again. Thank you for watching, those of you that are interested. There will be more battle reports in the Flameia campaign as my Haqqislam go forward, and of course they will actually be video reports, unlike these ones that have picture and voiceover, as I don't have a very good camera to use to make these kind of picture battle reports. And I find it actually more difficult for me because it's not something I'm familiar with. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you next time.